if I told you some stories about some persons who have been able to change their passion into purpose? How would you feel about it? Okay, let's start with Sarah. Sarah was actually a very young lady who was actually working in the corporate world. Now, she worked in the corporate world for several years, but she still did not derive any satisfaction from working there. So, guess what Sarah did? Sarah started baking. And she found out that she had very great skills in baking, and she was so excited about baking. She baked pastries and baked them for a hobby. She just kept baking pastries all over. Sometimes she bakes pastries and she takes them to her place of work, sells some of them, and so on. And gradually, she found out that she had started developing a very strong passion for baking pastries. What did she do? She started putting up some of her products on online markets, online selling points, and so on and so forth, and was selling them and making good money. As she continued this thing, at a point, she lost her job. When she lost her job, but losing her job didn't make her lose her passion. So what did she do? All she did was to continue with her passion. She took it a notch higher, sold them on different online platforms, and had lots and lots and lots of clients and customers from everywhere. Long story short, from selling her passion, which happened to be making of pastries, today Sarah owns one of the greatest pastry malls in the United States of America, known as Sarah's Sweet Treats. It all started from baking pastries while in her place of work in the corporate world. This was her passion, which she pushed further and pushed it till it became a purpose. Today, she's the CEO of Sarah's Tasty Treats, and it's known all over. It's a big business empire. This was someone who was able to turn her passion into purpose. The next person that comes to my mind is a guy called Steven. Now, Steven actually, he was a very good artist, but he was working in an oil installment, in an oil company, and he just loved painting. Sometimes people found it difficult to reconcile how would someone like Steven, with his passion for painting, what's he doing in an oil, But he continued working there. But something in him kept telling him what he was the right man in the wrong place. He just loved artwork. He loved painting and so on. Long story short, he handed in his resignation. After handing in his resignation, he started selling his products online. And when he sells his products online, he makes some good money, he takes his commission, and kept selling his artworks online. Today, he's a curator, and apart from that, he owns one of the greatest, art studios in South America. He's doing so well, like very, very well. What did he do? He turned his passion into purpose. He found out that he was the right man in the wrong place and decided to pursue his passion. And he has a very, very great art studio today. And he's so great into art. His artworks are being sold for very, 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 I don't even know, very expensive, very high rates they are being sold at today. This goes on and on. What about a lady called Julia? Now, Julia happens to be a travel, expert. Now, what? Expert? No, she just had this passion and flair for traveling. She just loved traveling. She had it as a hobby. And she kept traveling. But the different thing about her, Julie, was that each time she made her trip, she documented every experience she had during her travel trips. She kept documenting her experiences. And, from documenting her experiences, she developed a travel blog. And on her travel blog, you could get every experience from everywhere she traveled all over the world. Today, Julie, whoa, she's an authority in traveling. Her blog is making her serious money online, and she is meant for travel advice and so on and so forth. She runs this firm where it's mostly she runs travel advice and other kinds of things and so on and so forth. She's doing so well. What did she do? She turned her passion into purpose, and her passion was traveling, and she has turned it into purpose, and it's making a lot of money for her today. Now, there are several persons like that, and they have been able to turn their passion into purpose. What about you? What have you been able to do? You have a passion, but you're just sitting somewhere and you've been unable to turn your passion into purpose. Someone comes to my mind, Hilda Bassi. Recently we everywhere is Agog. I think she's been able to break her second world record. I've not gotten my facts very right. But the first time she came out, Hilda had this passion, for cooking. And she started this idea of she was going to break the world record in the longest cooking time. And she started the cookathon. Now, she went on into that and cooked for long hours. Long story short, she finally broke that record. When she broke that record, it opened people's eyes to like, whoa, somebody could break a record and go into the Guinness Book of World Records for cooking this long. And every other person tried to start doing the same thing. You see, the funny thing about this life, Nobody thought about that, but until Hilda did it first, it stirred the interest in every other person. Now every other person wanted to break her record in cooking. But what does it have? What difference does she make? She already set the pace on that aspect, though someone had done it somewhere in the world before, but she broke a record. We grew as children to know about the Guinness Book of World Records. None of us even, till now, I'm not even thinking of getting into the Guinness Book of World Records. But a young lady at that age felt that she could do it. And she turned her passion into purpose. And she went into the Guinness Book of World Records for what was called the Cookathon then. And Hilda Baci went there. People said all manner of things. Did it deter her? No. She came again not too long ago and decided to cook the largest pot of jollof rice. Hilda will never stop amazing me. Well, I don't know if that record was actually broken, but I know Guinness recognized it. I hope it's been broken. She set a world record there. But whatever it is, this lady is just out to break records, turning her passion into purpose. And so many people partook of that rice. I wonder how that rice tasted. Forget about the critics and the naysayers who kept saying all kinds of things. She didn't wash the pot well. She did this, she did that. The young lady's name has gone down in history. And of course, I know tomorrow someone else will try to do it. My mind goes to Michael Jackson. And when I went back to Michael Jackson, I started looking at when this guy was smashing, bringing out hit songs upon hit songs off the wall. And then he went on the Thriller album in 1982. How old was Michael Jackson when he released the Thriller album? I think it was around 24 or thereabout. Where are our 24-year-olds now? What are some of them doing? Dancing naked on the internet. Maybe that's their passion. Maybe they're turning their purpose into passion. But one thing in the future, I hope they're going to be able to tell their children that this is what they spend their years doing. So you watching me and listening to me, you have a passion. Don't let your passion die with you. Think about how to change your passion into purpose and start making an impact on this planet while you are still living. You have a lot within you. And some time ago I said this and I repeat again, don't allow the song inside of you to die. There is so much inside of you the world has not yet touched or has not yet felt. There's so much in you that can change the world. But if you can do it and channel it the right way. King's Lodge, normal I am, man, just trying to make someone happy, stay alive, have a reason to live, and a purpose for living. Thank you so much.